lower, maintenance free, virtually maintenance free, and to be lead safe. That's our 4 goals. So now, historically, whenever we have applied for 10 homes, if everything goes well, not every home will need the maximum amount. So we're hoping we'll be able to actually do 12 or 13. So anyway, it's well, we look forward to working with the city for the next year or two.
It says it has 2 years here for completion, and that completion date being March 31st of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And it started the 17th of March 2008. That's kind of when I was asking, when does it start? I mean, does it start the first time the person takes advantage of the money?
It actually depends on, that's our contract. You'll get a contract from the state. Now, they might state their contract is May 1st through, and it's usually a 2-year contract. So if it's May 08 through to May 10, May 10. But then we might have to do an amendment at a later point to extend it. We're hoping, we've seen where we're working as far as getting the whole group of houses at once, and we're hoping to continue to get a good response, that we will most likely, by the time all the groundwork is done and verifications are done, approvals are done, once we get all that, we have to do what's called a state historical SHPO clearance, making sure that we aren't affecting or altering a potentially historic site. That alone takes 30 days.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a long process. We can see, hopefully we'll start seeing hammer, nails, and everything else the end of the fall. The programs we started last year at this time actually are in mid-construction, so we're hoping that we get a bunch done. And
you've talked a lot about concerns about lead paint.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of extra inspection and processing for lead paint. What about asbestos concerns?
Whenever we're looking at doing siding on a house that has asbestos siding, we do make sure that it's taken off by an asbestos abatement contractor. Or if there is asbestos, usually that's the 2 places we've seen it, is usually on the siding or wrapped around the furnace. And anytime we do see asbestos and we are disturbing it, we don't have to do anything to it if it's in good condition. That's like lead-based paint. If lead-based paint is in good condition, it's not dangerous. But once it starts cracking, peeling, dusting. But we do make sure that we have an asbestos abatement contractor remove it and dispose of it properly. So, anything else that I can answer for you?
We appreciate you taking time to come and tell us about this. There have been a lot of questions.
Okay, yeah. When will you have those done so I can plan on doing the environmental review stuff?
Next meeting's the 28th.
The 28th, perfect. That'll work great as far as my schedule. And if anybody has any questions, I always forget I should bring cards, but feel free to give me a call if there's any questions. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to B, quarterly report from Kids World. Thank you.
Hello. How are you?
What I brought for you guys tonight is the budget for 2008, 2009. It's from our fiscal year, runs from July to June. And we have been very busy up at the center. We currently, we keep track weekly on our hours, and we are running above 2,000 hours. That is telling us that there's children are in the building, and we can evaluate that down to, how do I want to evaluate this down? full-time children is about 45 children, and at an hourly rate of $2 and, was it 65 cents on the report? So that's full-time children. We usually have around the average around 90-some children. Our capacity at the center is 106.
Full-time went up, huh? 41 last time you addressed us.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Jane, who's my assistant, we were talking, and we've inputted at least 6 new children in the last few weeks. It's just been kind of,
Good.
you know, they come and go, but they're still coming, so we're happy with all that.
Good.
I have currently hired 4 new staff, so we're sitting up at 20 staff at the center. I brought along Tom Munger, our president, and Steve Irwin is our vice president. You have any questions or comments for me, for us?
I was there today and the cook said they made about 80 meals a day. And they were giving the little ones waffles for breakfast.
It always smells so good when you come in here.
Do you have any trouble keeping staff?
Yes, yes, we offer the minimum wage rate. We just had that increase, the state increased, and so that has kind of put a burden on us. We're working with that. We don't offer health benefits or anything like that for our staff. We do have IPERS that we offer to them, and we're just paying a minimum wage. It's kind of frustrating to think that people taking care of our future are making less than people who are out there flipping hamburgers and working at a food service thing. So the staff I do have, I feel they're very committed staff. They put in training hours. We have really good commitment with that. They commit above and beyond. We are state licensed, so we are required, each staff have so many training hours, and they at least double what their training hours are. And which is, like if it was 8 hours, they're up at 16. Any training that they can get in this area, they're on it. They're all mandatory reporters. They're all certified with their CPR and first aid and universal precaution. They're very knowledge staff up there. 7 of us have our CDA, which is a child development accreditation, which is 120 hours commitment through college or a higher level of training. So that everyone out there takes their job very seriously and keeping our children safe and healthy and nurtured and educated and you name it.
Are you able to keep your volunteer base?
We do have a decrease in our volunteers, but we do have volunteers that are still fairly active. There's, I'd say, around 20 of them. They volunteer within the kitchen. They volunteer in the room. They volunteer answering the phones. Everyone up there does have a background check on them, so everybody in the building is safe to be working with our children. And that does include our staff as well. So.
The question on your income on the grant, I assume there's a couple in italics, like in January, February.
Right.
That's what the city's
Correct.
giving you. That's, the rest
Correct.
of them are other grants from
Those are
outside.
the other grants that I apply for, or other funding that I write for.
Are you reasonably assured that like in December, $4,500 will come through?
When you do a budget, it's all an estimate.
Plan
I
for
mean,
the
I
best.
try to write
Plan
them,
for the, and hope for the best. Huh?
and yep, I do the best I can.
Pretty good sized year-end fundraiser though, we have a
Oh.
lot of supporters that kick in at year-end, but I think that's probably reflected in that.
And that
Correct.
comes under the other grants.
Other, right,
believe so.
yeah.
This year.
Other fundraising,
Fundraisers.
grant, yeah, it's all consolidated in that column.
Most of the income numbers should be pretty, I mean, other than obviously the tuition, you try to grow that and so forth. The rest of them, you know, we've got some track record under those now. We should know, have a pretty good idea